now, without wasting any time, I will right away request our final speaker, Abdulqayyum Bijad. Abdulqayyum Bijad is a human rights defender from Western Balochstan, Iran. He is associated with the Balochstan Human Rights Group and is also a member of Balochstan People's Party. Abdulqayyum, please.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk about human rights violation in Balochstan by Iran. I will talk about three topics of human rights violation which are in every Baloch's mind due to the policies of Iranian government. One is the Iranian long-time plan to change the demography of Balochstan. Another is extrajudicial killing, which has made Balochstan a hunting ground for Iranian security forces. And the third is Iran's state policy of using religion as a political tool. Particularly in Balochstan case, Iran has been creating and supporting sectarian groups in Balochistan and across the borders. Demographic manipulation has been an Iranian policy toward Balochistan since Balochistan occupation and annexation to current Iranian state. After the annexation of Balochistan by Iran in 1925, Iranian government annexed some part of the Balochistan to the neighboring provinces like Kerman or Muzgan. Human Rights Watch has documented the fact that the Baloch populated region has been systematically divided by successive regimes in Tehran to create a demographic imbalance. According to HRW report from 1997, the administrative and political districts were arranged so as to avoid the creation of any Baloch majority provinces. Immigration of non-Baloch into area was encouraged under the Pahlavi state to extend almost 40% of the population in Zaidan are non-Baloch immigrants. The report further notes that since the mid-1990s, a systematic plan has been set in motion by the authorities to pacify the region by changing the ethnic balance, and major Baloch cities such as Zaidan, Iranshar, Khash, and Chabar. In the 20th of February 2017, Rouhani government announced a new plan to reduce Baloch to a minority in their homeland. Akbar Turkan, the head of the free zone area, announced that government is planning to triple the population of the coastal area in Gulf and Makparansi by resettling 2 million more people in Balochistan. He further said Balochistan has the means to accommodate this increase of population. And an important reason that regime has accelerated its demographic manipulation is the treaty, which the current regime has finalized on 27 of March 2021 with China on Chinese investment package worth about 400 billion. A large part of this investment will be in Baloch posts like Chabar and Jas. The 25 years contract, beside economical investment opportunities in Balochistan for the regime and its security forces, also give even cyber and intelligence security control to China in Baloch coastal cities of Chabar and Jas. As Iran become closer to China, human rights violations in Balochistan have intensified and increased. To intimidate Baloch people, in December 2020 and January 2021 executed more than 20 Baloch. Many of them were simply imprisoned because their relatives were members of opposition groups. Amnesty International in February 4, 2021 reported that the recent escalation in execution of Baloch and Awazi Arabs raised a serious concern that authorities are using the death penalty to sow fear among the disadvantaged ethnic minorities as well as the wider population. The disproportionate use of the death penalty against Iran's ethnic minorities epitomize to enter discrimination and repression they have faced for decades. Shows that Iran's suppression of Baloch people is systematic and has no limitation. It is targeting Baloch for any reason, both activists and their families. Unemployment among Baloch youth is more than 60%. As a result, many Baloch youth has turned to fuel carriers for a small income by trading fuel in the border region of Iran and Pakistan. Fuel traders live a dangerous job. Although Revolutionary Guards Corps sell fuel legally to them, but Iranian security forces and Revolutionary Guards fire to kill them wherever they find them. There are daily and weekly killing of these fuel traders in Balochestan. In 22nd of February 2021, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps in the border crossing between Iran and Pakistan fired directly at Baloch fuel carriers, and 10 of them were killed. This killing of unarmed civilians sparked anger among Baloch population, which led to a protest in Baloch region against the crime by IRGC. In this subsequent demonstration, according to United Nations High Commissioner, in all 23 people were killed. Another aspect of the Iranian policies in Balochistan is its support of sectarian group and political Islam. Baloch as a secular people have been fighting and resisting political Islam in the form of Iranian Shiite and Sunni fundamentalism in the region. Currently, we have Shiite governing theocratic state in Iran, a surging Sunni fundamentalist group Taliban in Afghanistan. Although some expert and some government thinks that the Shiite and Sunni are antagonistic sects, but it has shown that for Iran, sectarianism is not always the most important pillar to decide its foreign policies and support of extremist and terrorist groups. It has by now become clear that the Iran, since Taliban government demised in 2001, has started supporting both Taliban and Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda leaders found a safe home in Iran after they were expelled from Afghanistan. One of Taliban leaders, Mullah Mansour, was killed by a US drone while returning from Iran in May 2016 in Pakistan. Iran has a base for Taliban for recruiting new fighter and training base. Currently, media and some officials do not hide their happiness of Taliban winning ground in Afghanistan and the possibility of Taliban regime in Afghanistan. Taliban is a tactical and strategical partner for Iran to Islamize Western Balochistan. Iran and Taliban cooperate to create and support the extremist group in Balochistan. There are many facts in the ground which indicate that the Iranian and Taliban and its regional partners cooperate in the building and using the extremist groups to create controlled instability in Balochistan and to create false artificial political dynamic in the form of political Islamic to obstruct and distort Baloch struggle for sovereignty and self-determination. They also try to change the Baloch liberal and secular culture, which is based on a moderate religious thinking, into an extremist version of their own creation of political Islam. Balochistan geopolitical location allows access to see something that the extremist group need. Balochistan division between Iran, Pakistan and Afghanistan to enable the groups to communicate with each other across the borders and move from there to the Arabian Peninsula and beyond. While Baloch secular and democratic forces have been able to encounter the policies of the Iranian government, the resources available for the Iran government could not be matched by Baloch political groups which are banned in Iran or under harshest persecution. It is high time for an international effort to stop Iran from using religion for political and hegemonic purposes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Abdulqayyum Bijad. Thank you for sharing some of very important and informative statistics about how Iran is through multiple